All right. So, how can you be an amazing guest on a podcast that you're being interviewed on? There's a couple of things, especially after doing this as long as I've been doing it, that I want to give you this information on so that you can get literally the biggest bang for your buck here and really get some great exposure when you're being interviewed, whether it's a video podcast or an audio podcast. There are some best practices that you need to make sure that you do. So I'm just going to go down my list. All right. So the first one that I want to talk about is just check your surroundings. You're going to be using probably something like a webcam to go live with or to be recorded on. Make sure that your surroundings are clean. There's not, come on, dirty clothes around, things strewn all over the place. Just make sure, especially if you're on video, that your surroundings are clean, in order, not something to give people to have a chance to take a focus on, like a laundry basket or something like that. So that's one. Check your surroundings. Now, if you're doing something like I'm doing right here, I'm using a green screen, whether you believe it or not. This is a green screen that is behind me. Now, when you use a green screen, if you're going to use that for whether it's a Zoom session or anything on video like with StreamYard or anything else, Ecamm Live, wherever you're going live and you're using a green screen and you want to use a certain type of backdrop, the green screen has to be lit appropriately. Normally, what I use is three different lights. I have a light coming on me, I have a light lighting the green screen, and another light basically on top of me or just to the side. But the green screen cannot have any shadows on it. If the green screen has shadows on it, then what's going to happen is it's going to look all fuzzy and not, it's going to look like it's a green screen. You're going to have that visual noise that you're going to be able to see. So you want to make sure that your lighting is appropriate on yourself and on the green screen. The most important thing is that the green screen should never have shadows on it for the best look. All right. Now, you want to also be cognizant of the audio and how that audio is sounding as well. You see here, I'm using a microphone from Shure. It's a USB microphone that's plugged in right now to my MacBook Mini, or my Mac Mini, I should say, and it's giving me the sound that I'm getting with this particular video. Now, many times people are just using something like the microphone that's connected with their speaker or something, excuse me, the microphone connected on their computer or laptop. You might just be cognizant of how it is that you sound. If you think you sound appropriate, then fine. If your host is asking, can you get better sound quality, then you might want to do that. So, my suggestion is that if you're going to be doing an interview, have a microphone, a USB microphone that you can put pretty close to your mouth. This is this far away from my mouth as I'm speaking right now. So just have a USB microphone and you're going to get much better sound quality. The next thing, this is a big thing here. You want to make sure that you check your internet connections. It is always best to be plugged in, not using Wi Fi. You want that internet connection plugged directly into your computer or laptop so that any issue that may arise because of internet connectivity probably won't arise because you're going to be directly connected in. You will only have problems normally if you're just trying to use Wi Fi. So, having that internet connection directly plugged in is always good. The next thing is if you're going to be doing an interview, a serious interview, don't do it using your smartphone. Don't be driving in the car while you're trying to do an interview. One, we're going to have issues with internet connectivity because you're driving and you're going to be switching from cell tower to cell tower, or anything can happen with that. Also, it's not usually going to give you the best presentation unless you're using your smartphone in a room and you're holding it this way, long ways, not up and down, straight up and down, but sideways, and you're in with a very good internet connection on it and using that camera. The cameras on your smartphone are going to be good, but I just don't suggest them, especially if you're out and about, to be doing something like that when you're being interviewed. You want people to be fully engaged with you, and sometimes that's distracting if you're driving around in a car. So just don't do it. All right. The next thing is turn all devices off. Turn off your smartphone. Turn off your tablet. I just happen to have one sitting here. Turn off your iPad or your tablet and close all tabs that are open on your computer. Some of us, if you're like me, you've got plenty of them open all the time. When you're doing this, you want to make sure you're shutting everything down so that any sort of system resources aren't being overtaxed by you being on camera in particular. So make sure that you do that as well. Here's a pet peeve: be early. I usually ask my guests to be about 5 minutes early. I'm there usually about 10 minutes early. So I ask that the guest be there, and you should want to be there early too, in case there are any technical issues that come up, so that you can address those technical issues right away. And the host can fix those issues. You can fix those issues so that they don't become a problem during the live show. Because if you just show up on time and you're ready to go, especially if it's live, right? Recorded is a little bit different, but especially if you're going live, you want to make sure that you've got everything squared away. Sometimes hosts, especially if you are going to go live, may ask you to do a practice session with them. Be very supportive of that because they're trying to do this so that they can put you in the best light. Be early, handle all the technical issues. Now, here's one every interviewee should be doing. When you're going to be interviewed on a podcast, whether it's video or whether it's audio, that host, if they're a good host, is going to be promoting that show before the show airs. Typically, I would say between 5 and 3 days before that show airs, that host is going to start promoting you being on the show. You want to make sure that you're following that host on the different social media platforms. You're friends with that host, you're connected with that host, because that host will probably tag you in that social media platform so that you're aware that he's doing or she's doing promotion. You want to share that too. You want your audience to know you're going on a show that they may want to tune in and listen to. As the host is promoting it, you should be promoting it too. And then also doing your own promotion as well before that show airs. After the show airs, the host is going to promote that show again. And he or she will tag you in that post. You want to make sure you're resharing those things and also doing your own promotion after you've been on someone's show. This is going to be the best way for you to be able to get noticed by different audiences because different people will share that from the host and different people from you will share that from you. You want to get as much exposure and as much spotlight on you as possible because you're taking your time out to talk about something that's important to you, whether it's your product or service or something that you're doing in your community or wherever or whatever it may be. You definitely want exposure. And this is the best way to get exposure. I'll be bringing you some more tips on this. I hope this was helpful. Let me know which tip was most valuable for you in this video. Thanks for being with me. Take care.